Thanks, guys. I'm going to try and be very quick, so everyone please bear with me. Good afternoon. It's great to be joining you for this 20th anniversary of Micra and to be inspired by this year's theme for the conference, Realising Remote Possibilities, which is a lot of my people. I'll begin by acknowledging all our Kalkadoon people and especially elders in the room, especially those in my family. I'd like to acknowledge my daughter Lee and our ancestors for the thousands of years of ongoing custodianship for these lands and waters. I also acknowledge all the elders in the room and recognise your courage and wisdom to not only do things right, but more importantly, to be a model for doing the right thing. I acknowledge all the special guests, like Dr. Passion sitting there, who have joined us for the conference, and appreciate your advocacy and expertise in improving services for rural health. Thanks to Sabina and many others in health who see the link between health outcomes for my people and respect for culture. Beginning this afternoon with the Welcome to Country is an example of the respect shown to me and the Kalkadoon people. I thought I might start by telling you a bit about who I am and why I conduct a welcome ceremony. I am Karen. I am the daughter of Bill and Ruby. I am the granddaughter of Daisy and Toby and Dolly and Charles, and I am the great-granddaughter of Kitty and Billy. Probably don't mean much to you guys, but that's okay. I am the fourth eldest of 11 children and one of 7 sisters. I am a mother and a grandmother and soon to be great-grandmother. I am these things and much more. I grew up on this exacting land, a place where my parents and grandparents and all my ancestors forged their resilience and grew their knowledge of our country. They handed to me and all of us who follow them the legacy of our ancestral beings and our creation stories, and our responsibility for the future of our people and country. Over 200 generations of my family have lived in this region. My family and I continue a long line of healers, warriors, magic people, hunters and gatherers. We are mountain people, people of these lands and waters. My family, especially my warrior ancestors, fought to protect a legacy that was thousands of years in the making and in the process survived the colonial onslaught. Are you remotely interested to know that it is my ancestors who were among the last of our indigenous nations to resist the invasion? You might have heard or read about the story of Battle Mountain. But for me, it's deeply personal. This story is about my blood, my people. I proudly tell you of their resistance and bravery and of their military genius and use of guerrilla warfare. I proudly tell you of their survival after Battle Mountain, how my family, my honoured elders and ancestors made it through the horrors and unspeakable inhumanity of frontier war, the subsequent roundups and the resume of the protector of Aboriginals. And because they did, I stand before you today. I am their legacy. They handed to me a continuous connection to people, culture and country longer than any other human group on the planet. And despite the inhumanity they faced, they still passed on an ancient belief system grounded in humanity, at the heart of which is respect. Respect for self, respect for others, and respect for country. This is worthy of acknowledging and celebrating, and it is why I take up the mantle of leadership from those who have gone before me. I owe them. I have to live a life in honour of my parents and grandparents, and those before them. They survived so I could live. This is why every time I do a welcome, I show respect to our ancestors and our people. I play my part in continuing Kalkadoon leadership and appreciate our ever-evolving economic, social, cultural, spiritual and religious contribution to this region. Every time I do a welcome, I show respect to all Australians, for we all are now stewards of this country's future. In closing, this conference and those before it aims to bring attention and health action to the people of rural and remote Australia. We live shorter lives, have higher levels of disease and injury, and poorer access to and use of health services compared to people living in metropolitan areas. This is compounded for my people, and it is why I have spent my life pushing back against systemic racism and the unaware yet constant belittling of my people. We have to treat the life of someone from the riverbed with as much dignity, delight and high expectation as someone who lives in the town. We have to treat my people, whose ties to this area go back thousands of years, with the delight and respect and high expectations that a first Australian and ongoing custodian deserves. So on this day, at this conference, I especially welcome those of you who work towards securing the health of the people of rural and remote Australia, especially on behalf of my people. To you I say welcome. Welcome to the beautiful lands of the Kalkadoon, and I wish you all the best in realising remote possibilities and health outcomes. Thank you.